2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
In a world where Carolina Panthers fans have an insatiable thirst for Panthers news and opinions, only one podcast roars ferociously. It's the C3 Panthers Podcast.
What's the deal, Panther fans? It's your boy, Tony Dunn, a.k.a. The Professor, part of the C3 Panthers podcast, the longest-running Panthers podcast on the intranets. That's right, including the damn team. Every Tuesday night, 9 p.m., we chop up the latest news and opinions from the fan perspective. Tonight's show is Panthers training camp has been lights out. My co-host, Cody Lashney, suggested this title, and his next comment was that too much on the nose? And I lost it, homie. I lost it. I couldn't. It was a little much. And it made the show title more than it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, at first I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then, damn, on the nose. Ugh. There's a lot. There's layers, homie. Layers.
Yeah,
Cody
there's a lot to talk
boy.
about. There's a lot to talk about tonight, man. Obviously, we had a big event happen today in our first padded training camp. We're definitely going to talk about it tonight. Lots of news and opinions. We're going to talk a little bit about Matt Rule. David Newton is still a moron who shouldn't have his job.
Nah, he's wonderful. He's my favorite dude. Like, let's stop even trashing him, man. I'm like on the David Newton train.
I don't even know. I understand that, but at the same time, it feels weird to like give him anything other than vitriol. I've just been doing it so long. I don't know how else to do it. But hey, man. So normally this is the part of the show where I would shout out everybody in the YouTube chat and holler at all the fans in the YouTube chat. But I'm pretty sure many of you are already aware of this. Panther Nation, we lost one of our own, 704 Charlotte Bound, who was a regular member on Keep Pounding TV with Big Cat, who was an absolute staple of every single Panther YouTube chat room. If it was PNP, Big Cat, Unnecessary Bluntness, Sheltron, it don't matter, man. Anywhere
we've seen him
was...
in our chat here. This is a true Panther fan. Like, it just bleeds. He bled blue.
100%, man. He was a part of Panther Nation, and if you were a Panthers YouTuber, he was always showing love, and he was always so excited to talk about the show and talk about the Panthers, man. And for someone that I've never met in my entire life, I had never even seen a picture of him until before today in Big Cat's thumbnail. And it's crazy, man, because, now that we're doing the Friday free for all, I'm finally being able to start to put names to faces. And so many of you guys are staples of what we do. And we look forward to coming and hanging out with you guys every Tuesday night. And it's not hyperbole when we all say that we're all a big Panther family, man. I love y'all. We love coming here and being able to talk about the Panthers for you guys. But moments like this, it puts everything into perspective, man. To never waste a day and always cherish the moments that you have, man, because they're not guaranteed. And none of the chat rooms, this chat room would never be the same. Shout out to Twan 704 Charlotte Bound. We love you, brother. And every time Jeremy Chin gives someone the chin check this season, we're gonna be thinking about you, brother. So love you. Shout out to Twan and his entire family. And Tony Dunn, we'll have a good show tonight in honor of our brother 704 Charlotte Bound.
I want to say this about Panther Nation and particularly the YouTube community or the social media fan community that has been formed, right? Is that we have there. I'm in this creator chat, right? This YouTube creator chat. You're part of it. Kind of like the heavy hitters of YouTube, just talking. I don't participate in group chats. I hate group chats. They're so overwhelming. It's just so much to keep up with, right? But what this moment with 704 has reminded me of is that the whole goal of when I started this podcast was just friendship based, right? Community based. And so this podcast was birthed out of this. And for people who are new to the C3 Panthers podcast, this started when the internet first started you to allow you to go live, right? Like where you could live stream. It was Google Hangouts is when we started this, right? It was 2013. And my old roommate in college, he was a little bit older than me, Joe Riolano, who's here in the chat room a lot of times, right? Founder of this. He suffered through massive health problems for so many years, right? I mean, and it's actually become a part of this show, right? It's like this adversity of health that the C3 Panthers podcast is going on. But our show was born out of this. Simply put, Joe moved to Charleston, South Carolina, and we were best buds. He's like my older brother. And we would call each other at halftime between the Panthers games every Sunday or whatever it was. And that's when we caught up. How you been? You know what I'm saying? Like the team's sucking right now. It was our conduit. It was our means of continuing our friendship because distance had become a wedge, right? And what I want to bring this back, and I'm trying to circle it back, Cody, is you said you had not met 704 Charlotte Bound, right? But I hadn't met you before. You were on this podcast for like a year before I met you. And so I want to say this is that the love that you hear from a lot of cats on the internet for this person's memory is real. We've made some real friendships. While a lot of us have not met each other, we have made real, like, ride or die type friendships. And look at this. Look at how this podcast has turned, Cody. We have met many times now.
Yeah, man.
Right? I mean, it's kind of like we made a friendship pre-COVID. How about that?
Yeah.
Pre-COVID, we were on the edge. We're the like trendsetters of friendship on the internet because of a common interest.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, this team brings people together. I mean, if you're a Carolina Panther fan, especially if you're a part of this, podcast community that we all have going on, man. Everybody shows love and everybody's so excited and ready for Panther football. And it's like, I really do feel like so many of you guys are like family. I know y'all. I look forward to talking every Tuesday. I mean, this is what so many of us look forward to, man. And we're very blessed and fortunate to be in the position that we're in, to know so many people that love this team and love what we do and love to interact with one another. And it's just a tragedy. But listen, man, we're gonna dedicate this show tonight to our man Twan, 704 Charlotte bound. And hey, man, when the Panthers are doing their thing this season, man, we're definitely gonna have him in our memories. Gone but never forgotten. 704. Shout out to you, man. We love you. All thoughts and prayers to you and your family. And yeah, man, we gotta keep going strong for Panther Nation.
I think it's a reminder that we're trying to build a community, right? Is that not trying to build a community? A community exists already. And I've been so impressed with the kind of temperament, the integrity of Panther Nation, and the people that are talking. Look at this. I mean, how wonderful is it? Man, it's terrible that someone has passed away, but how wonderful is it that people are messaging us saying, "Did you hear this?" Right? Yeah. It's like this guy meant a lot. Like Panther Nation podcast, like people, like we are. I truly believe that a lot of Panther fans are trying to feel that kind of family relationship when it comes to, look, we have one thing we're interested in together, right? We could disagree on all types of things. We could be, someone told me this once, or I read this once, maybe they didn't tell me, but Facebook was the place where you knew everybody. Like you actually knew everybody that was your friend and you hated them. Twitter was the place you didn't know anyone, but you loved them. You know what I'm saying? Because we are all on that one joint right now. We are here tonight, every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. C3 Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. We want you to be part of that community. Tonight's show, guys, is Panthers training camp has been lights out. And Cody, I thought this title was a bit on the nose.
Yeah, so we might as well just jump into it. The biggest news of the day today was by far the news surrounding JT Ibe. And Tony, if you want to set this up a little bit, I'll pull up the video and we can kind of decipher whether or not we think this was a good hit or not a good hit. It's obviously it wasn't a good hit, right? We know that now. Right.
Yeah, right. Well, everybody knew it in the moment. Things like this, as I think what you're alluding to is this moment resulted in this. Is before we talk about what we think about it, this is what happened. Is JT Ibe, who was a Carolina Panther and a former cornerback at South Carolina, on the opposite side of Jaycee Horn, to remind you. And a lot of people thought this is, I believe he was a undrafted free agent, right? I'm not entirely sure about what his status was, but I mean, there was a couple of like the people that are watching all the stuff that have been like, watch out for this guy in camp. He's been, he's going to be good. Like he's a baller. And today a play happens where Kieth Kirkward, who is another fan favorite, kind of that dark horse guy that could be something, the training camp darling that y'all made fun of me so much for having in the past. Also, a reminder, Kieth Kirkward played at Temple, right? So near and dear to Matt Rule's heart. But today, a play happens where the result was a hit. Kieth Kirkward was then in the aftermath taken out on a stretcher with the ambulance. They paused practice. And so this hit, we see this video that Cody's about to play for you. And all of a sudden, we hear two things pop off on the news immediately. Like Kieth Kirkward, actually three things. Kieth Kirkward on the stretcher. The hit was a high hit, and the coaching staff was upset. And then the third thing was immediately Ibe or JT Ibe, whatever his name, however you pronounce him. No offense to him.
JT Ibe
got the walking papers by the time he hit the locker room.
Yeah, shout out to 89 J Subs for the 199. Matt Rule been yelling all camp about hitting. So we'll play it a few times because it's a blink and you miss it. PJ throws across the middle, and JT Ibe doesn't put his head down, just throws his helmet.
It was kind of the upper lift.
Yeah, it's that upper lift, and it's the crown of the helmet. That's what they teach you, is really to not lead with the crown of the helmet. And see, okay, let's have this discussion, right? Because some people were like, well,
can we, hey, before you get started, let's remind this. Today was the first padded practice.
Yeah,
I want to give some context here. Is that Saturday they had a practice where they brought the fans out and they were trying to make it a big deal. Saturday night, right? So Saturday night, after the practice, Matt Rule was not happy. A lot of people, look, we saw Pat Coltrane, T Money put a picture up where he found Pat Coltrane in the stands, these types of things. Like, it's a big deal this Saturday night. In the aftermath, Matt Rule was not particularly happy with the way the team executed the play. He thought that they were kind of overexcited to be in front of fans for a minute, right? So on Saturday, that happened. On Monday, he comes out and says, look, we got to look back at it. Tomorrow, we're going to practice in pads, and we'll get to see some the kind of intensity, the guys who can play. So I want to preface this with the coach was being kind of not poo-pooing the team, but on their intensity. And now today was the first padded practice, and then here we go.
Yeah, so this happened, and basically now there is a conversation happening amongst Panther fans is, did we make the right decision in letting him go? And just, reacting straight to that play, and, he was the odd man out, and he was thrown off the football team. And a lot of people are making, some good points. If this was Jeremy Chin that laid the hit, more than, we're not letting him go. He's not getting released. But the fact that this was a guy who had a lesser name, as you mentioned, I think it was he was an undrafted free agent, or
I'm not entirely sure. Like, he could have been late. Like, don't quote me on that. But it was somebody, I don't remember his name. How about that? Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Yeah, it was someone that was on the bubble. Like Sideshow Rob says, a fringe player. And we cut this man.
And in his defense, and not his defense, that's wrong. I'm not saying defense, but you're a bubble player. You're supposed to be playing. Like, if you take a down off, we're gonna be all over your ass too, right? Yeah.
You want them to play like they're trying to make the football team and give that extra effort. I put out a poll, which is, by the way, still able to be voted on my Twitter. Should JT Ibe have been released from the Panthers, or did he deserve another shot after making a big mistake? Right now, with 54.2% of the votes, most people are saying nope, it's an overreaction. So, and I kind of think, correct me if I'm wrong, Tony, but is that what you're thinking too? Like, was this a necessary move? Or a lot of people have been saying this is a flex by Matt Rule. That the other day at the end of practice, Derek Brown tackled Christian McCaffrey at the end of practice, and there were no pads, and that prompted Matt Rule to shut down practice and have an 8-minute.
I didn't hear that. I haven't heard that.
Oh, you
my
didn't hear
God.
this?
I haven't.
Yeah,
No, I haven't heard this.
Yeah, McCaffrey was hit at the end of one practice, and that caused Matt Rule to shut it down. So there was already something of an issue with tackling, and it seemed like today was an opportunity for Matt Rule to make an example out of a player and say, "Look, you think that we're bullshitting here? We're not fucking around. You have to look out for the health and safety of your fellow teammates."
Mm-hmm.
And to that point, I understand it, man. We have to remember that Matt Rule is a second-year head coach trying to set a precedent and start a culture of what isn't acceptable for the Carolina Panthers. Again, it's hard for me to feel too strong one way or the other. I don't think it was so egregious that JT won't get another chance somewhere else. But at the same time, like,
his chance was here, huh, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, the first day of like when the shit matters, you're done. All right, here's my take on it, Cody.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to put this in the way that I've been thinking about it, but ultimately is that we've been sold this bill that Matt Rule is like the guru teacher, right? I mean, is that we brought him in because he's the program rebuilder. He rebuilt Temple. He then went on to, what was the other one? The one in Texas, Baylor, right? He goes to Baylor when all they had all the scholarships stripped. It's a program in shambles, right? We've heard these stories of him connecting with players who have, I would say, been on the fringe of behavior, but I think Robbie Anderson is the poster child example of this. Is either failed out or struggling in school to the point of not being on the team. And Matt Rule's a advocate, a lobbyist, right? He's able to connect with these players who have this ability, but also are on kind of the fringe of authority, right? And so we have been told that Matt Rule is the mega teacher. And in fact, that's what I have been on this podcast saying, is that this is what I like about these guys, is that they are teaching they're teachers. That's it. They're teachers. Now, the thing that is interesting to me about this is you have a play that popped off in the moment. And certainly, like, look, Kieth Kirkward got taken out on a stretcher. He got taken out with the ambulance. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you look at it, and this is it's a little too much effort on the first practice, right? Yeah. I mean, like, he does upwardly launch at a guy who doesn't have the ball in his hands. Like, I mean, it's clear, like, he ain't catching it. But you're also trying to finish the play if I'm that guy. Like, I don't think he was trying to hurt him. Is when I see that play, I don't think he was trying to hurt him. And his agent came out and said he was trying to force the ball out. Now, if he was doing it in the most sound way, I don't agree with that. But here is what's interesting to me, is that instead of this coaching staff seeing this player as someone who is working hard, trying to prove their moment, their mettle, and we can teach them. This is a teaching moment to say, hey, this is not what we do, A, in practice right now. That's not what we're trying to accomplish. B, it's not sound technique even in the game, right? I don't know if cutting him it is, I'm not going to say appropriate. What I'm going to answer your question with a question. Okay. Do you believe that cutting him is a sign that the pressure, the stress is mounting on Matt Rule? Or do you believe that cutting him was a true example of what he wants practice to be? And the reason I ask this is because after like I won't say look panicked after the Saturday night practice, but we're in year 2. The pressure is building on this coaching staff, right? Is that like we're looking at this training camp and it's been remarkably vanilla, which is great. That's what you want a training camp to be. No like big injuries or this and that. But the reaction, the heavy hands here, is it an example of him? Is he trying to make this dude an example, or is it an example of the pressure that is mounting on Matt Rule?
I mean,
that's a good
honestly,
take. That's a good take, ain't it?
It is, and I do think it's a little bit of both. And I like what 89J Stubbs said too. If that was DJ or C-Mac, y'all would be pissed. And I kind of think about it in those terms too. I like the fairness of it. Like it does, right. It was.
But I mean, like,
but what I mean is that it was Kieth Kirkward, and he's not really a big name
but he's a Temple guy. He's a Temple guy. Remember
but I think that maybe. Again, it sets a precedent both ways. That one, we don't accept that headhunting shit, and 2, you're gonna get fair treatment no matter if you're a huge superstar or if you're a smaller no-name player. We're gonna take care of you. And let's also be real about this. I think the moment was also compounded by the fact that he didn't get up immediately. He kind of laid there on the ground for a little while.
No, he's taking out on an ambulance, like the stretcher, dude. They were worried about his neck and the head. You're right. 100, bro. Is that when you see something? I continue to make this, and this is a terrible analogy. But when Greg Hardy and the Ray Rice shit popped off, is the fact that we saw the Ray Rice joint on video made it worse than the Greg Hardy thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like seeing it. And so when you see the ambulance and the stretcher go out, they were like, nope. Give me your notebook.
And I think, especially seeing that it looked kind of blatant. And by the way, you're right. JT Ibe via his agent did put out a statement. He says JT feels terrible about what happened and glad Kieth Kirkward is going to be okay. Was aiming for the ball, but realizes he should have protected his brothers. And again, it's like what's done is done. I do think that there is an argument to be made that it was a bit of an overreaction. And sure, maybe it is a little bit of pressure for Matt Rule. But overall, I don't really have too much of a problem with this. Again, we probably would think about it a little bit different if it was a bigger name player. And again, especially
hell yeah, we would think of it differently.
And to add one more point to it, if you look at what happened to the Colts today, so not only have they lost Carson Wentz for 7 weeks, but now Quentin Nelson is going to be gone for them with the same injury. So, it's that Cam time Newton. Of year, man.
They got Cam Newton.
Injuries are happening, and you don't want your chances to get derailed by injuries before the season even starts.
But listen, man, back in the day where they were doing 2 a days, people were blowing motherfuckers up all the time.
Yeah, this is
that hit in 1999 would have been laying off. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm interested more in this. First, I'm very happy that Kieth Kirkward is not paralyzed and hopefully is going to have very limited physical repercussions from this. But no matter what, he's going to have some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you get blasted like that tomorrow, he's going to feel like he got hit by a freight train. Also, all football players feel like they got hit by a freight train the day after football games. But my point to this is I still think we need to circle back and remember when we look at these post-practice comments, when we look at the actions by the GM and the coach, what are there any signals that we're getting about where they're at in their career or the pressure, I believe, that they're feeling? And I am a Matt Rule guy. Like I've been 100% optimism all the way. And I do think he is a sort of Zen master to a great, like, is not too high, not too low all the time, right? It's like he's never over praisey about anybody. He's never shitting on anybody entirely. But I wonder, is he starting to feel a little pressure going into his second season, having Sam Darnold now as the quarterback? They've got to make some moves. Cody, can you bring up the Avolta banner for me real quick? As we move into the next part of the show, we want you to be a part of this conversation. The number is 252-228-5098. We want to hear your thoughts on the release of JT Ibe, not F.A. Obata. Why did I say F.A. Obata? JT Ibe, as well as Kieth Kirkward's I guess role. A lot of people have been saying his name going, he's a training camp hero. And for someone who's been talking about these training camps closely for 9 years, I've had a lot of training camp darlings and Demir Birds. Still my baby bird of
Here
all
we go
those
again with
darlings.
Demir Bird, boy. Here we go.
All right. Don't forget the C3 Panthers podcast is powered by Avolta. You can own your own energy with Avolta with no money down. If you live in North or South Carolina, contact Kevin Brown, Solar Consultant, at 704-215-3373. Achieve energy independence. Get a fixed rate on your energy for life. You just throw some solar panels up on your house. They take care of it for you. You no longer pay the utility bill, not utility, your electric bill. You have achieved energy independence, added equity to your home through Avolta. The number is 704-215-3373. You got to call them and say, hey, I'm a Panthers fan. I heard about you on the C3 Panthers podcast. He's a Panthers fan. We do this for him for free. That's right. So get up in there and get your mess. Get it hooked up. Powered by C3. Here we go. All right, Cody. We've talked about, I guess, this thumping. They were thudding. That's what the boys said. They'd be thudding in camp today. Homie got pulled out on the stretcher. What else is going on? Jaycee Horn. First day. Here, the first day, they're like, burned. Then we hear this. Pick. Jaycee Horn up in the action. 3 picks. 2 in 1 day, the last I heard.
Yeah, he's been doing incredible. He's had 3 picks. He had 2 in 1 day. Again, I'll find the video here in a second. Shout out to 89 J Stubbs for the 199. It says if a decent backup quarterback gets cut, we need to grab one.
Too bad. The Colts are already after him. The Colts should be trading for Gardner Minshew right now.
Yeah, well, no.
All right. So what do the Colts want to do? Carson Wentz is done. Homie. Like, he's done. Carson Wentz is no Cam Newton. Never was a Cam Newton. Right?
No.
And I don't know if he had the same injury, but he's having a foot surgery, which ultimately kind of suggests it was. Right? So how are you going to go and get anybody that's worth a damn right now? And I don't think the Panthers are interested in that. I think that if I'm the Colts, I'm panicking.
So they drafted a quarterback out of Washington in the 4th round named Jacob Eason. And once upon a time, he was a very highly touted recruit. He played at Georgia, transferred to Washington. And a lot of people think he has potential, and Colts fans think that too. But you mentioned Jaycee Horn. And listen, bro, I've been on my shit that this is the defensive rookie of the year.
It's your boy.
This is the defensive rookie of the year right here, man. I'm gonna stand by that. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. But listen, and inevitably, Tony, and you know this, we're gonna do this thing this year. that we're going to look at Rashawn Slater for the Chargers. And there's already reports that he's shutting down everyone.
Yeah.
And he's
I saw a
undefeated
tweet
against
with
Bosa. Yeah, he's undefeated against Bosa and
he hasn't been
Owusu.
beat. He hasn't been beat. That's what they said.
And then of course already you start to see Justin Fields throwing dimes all around the field at Bears
sidearm joints.
And listen, inevitably people are gonna fall into the trap of, oh, we should have drafted the. And yeah, whatever, dude. Maybe we should have, but all I know is this: Jaycee Horn is a dog, and he might be the best thing to ever happen to the Panthers' defensive backfield. Now, granted, I know a lot of people want me to slow down because it's only training camp and he's grabby and all this other shit. No matter what happens, the Panthers are better for having drafted this man. The way he breaks on those routes is just second to none, man. He's so aggressive, so long and strong and powerful. And another thing that's really been impressive about him is he's all about business, man. He has his nose in the book. He's doing work. He doesn't have the normal, defensive back kind of diva mindset that corners are sometimes given. He has none of that, man. He's a hard worker, and he is, in my opinion, already one of the most important players on our defense.
Well, he needs to be. How about that? Is that whether he is or isn't, he needs to be. Like, that's what we put a lot of stock in him by not going, not, I guess, reaching maybe for Fields or the other one. We didn't, Slater was, who went, no, it was, Slater went right after, right?
Yeah, Slater
went Penei Sewell, then it went Horn, and then later Fields, right?
Yeah, then Surtain went after us, and Rashawn Slater
so,
went after us.
We need him to be a star. We need him to be a star.
For sure.
And what you have brought up, when you say the book and this and that, he's like, he's coming from a pedigree of a dude who was arguably on the fringe of being a Hall of Famer in the NFL. Right? His dad, Joe Horn, was amazing, like a great wide receiver in the NFL. So if you think about it, it's kind of like, it's not saying that people whose parents aren't educated can't be successful, but don't we believe that if you are like your parents, we totally believe this. Actually, we say this all the time, is that your socioeconomic status affects your future, right? Like if your parents, look, I work at a community college, so we say this: if your parents have a high school education, you're more likely to get one than if they didn't, right? If you have a college, if your parents have a college education, you're more likely. I mean, it's not really rocket science. Jaycee Horn has been groomed in the most professional environments when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's thrived. And I also give this, I give mad props. I'm like our buddy Bob Rose, right? Like Under the Dome podcast as well. Like Sean and them. Joe Horn comes in and raps with them. Like comes in and raps with them on their podcast like us. And so there is I believe that he's been tutored in the best possible of ways. And I don't even think that's weird to say. Like, I mean, his dad was a professional fucking receiver, and he is a top-notch talent. He's in he is supposed to be that, and we are excited about it. But I know when you see Justin Fields slanging it,
yeah, man,
and then you hear about Sam Darnold throwing the INTs.
Well, okay, well, I'm glad that you brought that up.
Let's hear it.
And listen, I gotta give a shout out to I believe he's in the chat room right now to CJA. He's the sports nut. Listen, I depend on this guy, man. He drops so much.
He's the best, bro.
Yeah,
just come in on the show anytime you want. I mean,
yeah, for sure, man. He drops a bunch of really good news. in our Discord, and honestly, it helps us, keep track of stuff to talk about on the show. But um, he put this out. Will Pelusic on Twitter. Darnold, first team period, 4 of 5 passing, looking much more comfortable with things going at full speed and spreading it around to 4 different receivers. Some guys act differently and step up when the pads get strapped, and it's looking like that potentially um, is the case with Sam Darnold. He would also go on to say Darnold had 2 balls hit the ground so far at 45 minutes into practice, and both were on hands before doing so, showcasing the talent and chemistry with his receivers now. And look, man, shout out my man Pat Coltrane. He put out a whole video on this about, we're allowed to look at the players that are messing up and say that they're messing up. And yeah, that's
Yep.
true, man. But the whole point is that it's too early in the season to panic about.
What are your thoughts on
anything.
catcalling?
Yeah, it's
I
pretty.
mean, right now it's just too early, and
We're not panicking. We're trying to do this. No one's
You're
panicking.
not
Yet.
panicking. You're not panicking. But I know many people online that are already just waiting to throw Sam Darnold and even some of our coaches completely under the bus for a few bad passes and a few bad plays, and it's just too early.
In defense of those people, number one, and in defense of people who have been less than optimistic about Sam Darnold, I have gotten messages from Jets fans saying Darnold he's a practice warrior, right? Like he looks great in practice. Like he ultimately they said this is that he did all the right things. He said all the right things, but when it came to the game, the things weren't right.
Yeah.
So they said this is that we were excited about that too. Like, like, oh, he's doing. And here, I think Matt Rule, and let's rewind this a bit to last week. And I think we talked about on this last show where Matt Rule said, look, remember, and if we didn't talk about it on this show, I know I talked about it on Pirate Radio on Friday. He's only 23 or 20. He just turned 24. And they were asking Matt Rule. Remember they asked Sam Darnold about the vaccination stuff? In fact, we're going to circle back to this because we're going to bring back this David Newton segment in a little while. But David Newton was like, oh, did you get vaccinated? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. And then they come back and they're talking about leadership. And he was like, as a leader, how do you feel about vaccinations? Right. And so then in the next press conference, I believe it was Dave Newton was like, what do you think about his leadership and vaccination? And Matt Rule says this is like, I just want this motherfucker to worry about playing quarterback. We got leaders. We got Shaq Thompson. We got this and that. And he said he's only 23 and he actually turned out to just turn 24. So who gives a fuck? But he's 24 years old. Right. And the idea is to christen his career entirely or whatever, baptize his career, whatever sanctify, whatever the right holy term I'm looking and searching for is on that. He's such a baby right now in that. Right. So I don't know with such limited evidence how we can draw such long conclusions, but the circle and the question comes back. Ultimately, this entire season rests on Sam Darnold.
Yeah, and Matt Rule would even go on, shout out Lynn. He even mentioned in one of his interviews that some of those receivers were running the wrong routes when the ball hit the ground too. And that's not absolving anyone of responsibility. Like right now, everyone is responsible. These guys are learning the playbook. They're getting on the same page. All 11 guys have to do their part in order to make things run. And one of the things that I've been saying is that the preseason, Tony, is so important for us we are desperately in need of these preseason games for a few different reasons. One, we still have a bunch of different positions where we're working out, what kind of depth we have, one amongst the offensive line, also at free safety, also at backup quarterback. We have so many answers on our roster that we don't have the answer to yet. And frankly, we're not going to get until we start to play some meaningful preseason games. And another thing, and it just popped in my mind, I know I'm bouncing around here, but I do think I'm going to end up being right on this whole Taylor Moton thing, man. I continue to see reports of them putting Taylor Moton on the left-hand side playing left tackle. And he continues to reiterate that if they ask him to play left tackle, he's going to play left tackle. So, man, these preseason games, I can't remember the last time that I was looking forward to Panthers preseasons, just because of all the questions of things that we still have left to sort out. And I'm pumped, man. We need to know some of these things, especially about our offensive line and the depth that we have. We haven't seen much of David Moore or Deontay Brown. We're still wondering what position Brady Christensen is going to play for us. There's a bunch, man. So yeah, we definitely need to get some of these preseason games in before we can start to panic or worry about anything, that's actually a problem with this team.
All right, the number is 252-228-5098. My name is Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers podcast every Tuesday night, chopping up the latest Panthers news and opinions. And I got to give you some bad news and good news for me, Cody. I need you to cover the show next Tuesday or this Tuesday without me. I'm going to be on vacation. I'm on vacation, and my beautiful wife has been just begging me to go on a trip with her, and I got to do it. So, 89J stuff, yeah, I just be talking and talking and talking and talking. You're going to miss me, homie. You're going to miss my talking.
The only thing you'll have to do is put up the audio for the audio listeners. But, yeah, man, I'll hold it down.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to.
Yeah, by the way, I just want to give a real quick plug. If you haven't already noticed, every Friday at 7 p.m., I'm doing the Friday free-for-all on this channel where you, whoever's watching or listening to this, can come on and talk with me and everyone else about the Carolina Panthers, give your opinion on what you've been seeing, on what you're looking forward to in the games, on what players you're excited about seeing. Fridays are for the fans. So Friday free-for-all is join us every Friday at 7 p.m. And, yeah, we'll do it then. And, yeah, you already know I got you.
Where's CK at, by the way?
I don't know. I didn't hear from him.
I thought he was going to, it sounded like he was going to be here. It was sounding like he was going to be here.
Man. It's just me and you tonight, bro.
All right. So we're on the way back from training camp. Don't forget this podcast. All you got to do is smash the thumbs up button, give us a share. I don't need no money, homie. I mean, I would love some money, but this is what I need y'all to do. Share the podcast with a friend. Tell a homie about it. I was at the bar tonight, and I said, my man, he said he was a Panthers fan. I said, look, check me out. And I didn't say check me. Well, I did say check me out, but I said, what's your Twitter handle, yo? What is your Twitter handle? Follow him right away. Hit him with a link. Why don't y'all do that for a brother? Tell a Carolina Panthers fan that every Tuesday night, these fans be riding to camp, back to camp, to the game, back to the game. We rode to the camp today. Kieth Kirkward left on an ambulance. They cut JT Ibe, and Sam Darnold continues to be the center point of what our success could be founded on. We want you to share that with your friends. The number is 252-228-5098. Cody, what else is to talk about in this camp? Right now, I think for me, I there's been limited injury news. I hear some things like this is Trimble soft tissue injury, right? Nothing giant. We haven't heard guys blowing out ACLs, knocking on wood, MCLs. The worst news we heard today was the Kirkwood stuff. But when it comes to the storylines coming out of this camp, for me, I feel like the offense has so much firepower, again, continues to connect back to Sam Darnold. On the defensive side, Jeremy Chan, like what are you hearing out of this camp that is interesting?
So one of the things I am definitely hearing is that Terrace Marshall Jr. is an NFL
You made me a believer.
Wide receiver. He's an NFL
I'm eating my words, bro. I'm already not eating my words, but I feel like this is I got to eat my vegetables at this point.
Hey,
I said I didn't want to eat my vegetables, and you said, "Don't worry, eat your vegetables." And I'm about to eat my Terrence Marshall Jr. vegetables.
Oh, I said you're going to eat the vegetables and you're going to make sure there's not one corn kernel left on that plate, Tony Dunn, because I'm telling you, a lot of people have even been saying that this man looks like a young Muhsin Muhammad.
And that was Darren Gant, by the way, who said that. And he said, I'm going to throw some shade on Darren Gant for this, because he is the kind of the snarkiest and smartest of Panther people. He's been around for longer than we have, for everybody. Like, he was with Gastonia Gazette or whatever it was. But he goes, this is anytime you preface it with a but. Like, he's like, I don't like to do this, but he reminds me of Muhsin Muhammad. So either say he reminds me of Muhsin Muhammad, Darren Gant, or back off of it. But it is a good comparison, bro. This guy has been shining, and he looks like an NFL player. That's what I would say. It's like he fills the pads out perfectly.
And one of the things that Matt Rule even made it a point to say is that you're really not aware of how big he is until you're in front of him. I mean, this guy is 6'4". He's put on weight at 210 pounds. And one of the things that I put out on Twitter about a week or so ago is that Joe Brady already knows how to use Terrace Marshall to his maximum efficiency, letting him feast on post routes down the sideline while either Robbie Anderson or DJ Moore is running the dig route underneath to draw the coverage away. Like, this is that big body jump ball receiver with athleticism that we've been dying for ever since the days of Kelvin Benjamin and Salad Boy Devin Funchess, man. So again, he has deceptive long speed. Once he finally gets in stride, man, he's a burner. He can run. He ran a 4.4 at his pro day on laser time. So again, man, it's looking like Scott Favor nailed the draft with the players that we did draft.
Well, we'll see. I mean, let's let them play.
Yeah, again, we have to see it happen. But right now,
he looks the part.
Like
he looks the part. He looks the part.
Definitely looks the part, and he's catching passes well. He had a few drops early on, but again, I'm not too worried about that. I think as he continues to get in rhythm and get comfortable in our new offense, he already has an incredible amount of trust in Joe Brady as it is. So I genuinely think he could have the kind of year that Justin Jefferson had last year for the Minnesota Vikings. So
wow,
I really do.
Well, that's a very contingent again on Sam Darnold.
100%.
Right. I mean, Kirk Cousins was the quarterback for the Vikings, but Kirk Cousins has had monumental more success than Sam Darnold. Everything will circle back to the Sam Darnold move, right? I mean, very simple. Like, everything, our future will be contingent on the Sam Darnold acquisition, because we got Sam Darnold, we picked Jaycee Horn. Because we got Sam Darnold, we passed on Justin Fields. And I'm not saying they're right or wrong moves. I don't know what these moves will be. But it will all come back to this, is that Sam Darnold at all right, what's the I'm trying to say this is that, like, all right, so Sam Darnold could suck, right? He could be a bust. He could be the worst. He could be great, but it wouldn't be kind of cruddy if he's just okay.
If who's just okay, Sam?
Yeah, because if he's just okay, we might not identify him as a problem.
I mean,
imagine if the Panthers go 9-8, right? Sam Darnold is mediocre at best. You know, like, what do you do?
I don't know.
Ugh.
I don't see him.
Terrible question. Sorry.
Again, I just have a feeling that it's either going to be boom or bust. I don't see anyone on this team being average this year. I maintain that I think we're going to be. I think we're either going to be.
I know. I cited
team.
that in an article on the website. I said, my boy says this is boom or bust.
Yeah, we're either going to be dominant or we're going to be a dumpster fire football team. And I think, like, that goes like what we said, that goes the way of Sam Darnold. If Sam Darnold maximizes his potential, then all of these things that we've been talking about are going to fall into place. Our defense is going to reward his ability to make plays, and they're going to try and get turnovers. And then you look at our receiving core and DJ Moore. That's another thing that we haven't talked about. Everyone is saying that DJ Moore, especially on these 7-on-7s and 11-on-11s, he is unguardable. It doesn't matter who's
I haven't seen a video, bro. I ain't seen a video.
I haven't seen video.
Actually, no. Actually, I saw one. I saw one. Do you remember when he said they climbed a ladder? Like that climbed a ladder video where, and it was like the DB was in decent coverage, but he did go up and make this big catch. I do feel like the Carolina Panthers have banked on DJ Moore being a success. And I don't think that that's faulty, right? I mean, he hasn't given us any evidence. Like, he seems to be the most reasonably suited, him and Brian Burns, to explode.
DJ Moore will be as good as the quarterback throwing him the football. This is a lofty comparison, but I've been making it, and I'm a Clemson fan, dude. I compare him to DeAndre Hopkins, in that DeAndre Hopkins was making plays and doing a bunch of good things even before he had Deshaun throwing him the football. But then once he did get a consistent quarterback chucking him the rock, then he became a household name. I think that's what DJ Moore is going to be. If Sam Darnold can be that guy that was once upon a time drafted top 5 in the NFL, you're going to see DJ Moore be mentioned right up there with the top receivers in the NFL. He's gotten better every year. Tony, you remember when we drafted him? I used to be so hard on him about his route running. Like, I used to say his route running.
He was also 19. He's only, excuse me, he's only like 23 now. Like, that's the funny thing. Is like he's going into his 5th year option, and this mug ain't even 25 yet. Like, that kind of thing. DJ is top notch. Like, he's kind of like the good boy version of Steve Smith, right? I mean, like, is that like he could be that explosive player that Steve Smith was without punching your teammates in the face?
He's like the good boy version of Steve Smith.
Yeah, I mean, like, he doesn't punch his teammates in the face. Like, he actually takes the trash out and like helps his mom, whatever. And I'm not saying Steve Smith's a good person. I'm not saying he's not a bad person, but he's not volatile. The point being is this: Steve Smith scored touchdowns, motherfucker. DJ has only the most he's ever gotten this season. 4.
All right, hey man, shout out.
You know what I'm saying? Until you get the double digits, homie, you ain't gonna be the dog. You got to get the double digits.
Well, look at this. You want to talk about double digits? 89J Stubb, shout out for the 199. Says DJ has had back-to-back 1,000 yard season with 5 quarterbacks, and CJA here lists these quarterbacks for us. Teddy Bridgewater, Kyle Allen, Taylor Heineke. He's had those
I
bums
know.
and still
I know,
putting up
it's
nicer
wonderful.
numbers through his first 3 seasons than all those elite guys in the game. And yeah, that's why I doubled down on that opinion, man. When DJ Moore gets him a consistent quarterback that can find him downfield, guys, we have a bunch of nightmare matchups on our football team. And DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrace Marshall. We still haven't even begun to see the potential of Shi Smith. The Panthers have
Oh
the
my
weapons.
God!
We just need to get.
Take that statement
No,
back. Do not ever say we have not
who was
even
right on
begun
Terrace
to
Marshall?
fuck
Nah,
that. You
dude,
will
who was
never.
right on Terrace Marshall?
You're
Who
my
was
ice
right
up.
on Terrace
I don't give
Marshall?
a fuck. You cannot say we have
And
not
I'll be
even
right on
begun
him
to
too.
see the potential of Shi Smith. That's the most stupid
You
thing I've
haven't.
ever heard.
Tony, you didn't believe me when I said it about Terrace
I
Marshall.
don't give a fuck,
And now
man.
you're like,
Come
oh,
on,
Terrace
man.
Marshall
That's some
is
bullshit.
awesome.
Like,
He
we
looks
haven't
like
even seen the
Mohsen
potential.
Mohammed.
We
Yeah,
haven't even
that's right.
seen Shi Smith, homie.
Shi Smith will do better than
Oh
David
my
Moore. I'll
God. Get the
guarantee
fuck out of here.
that.
That's fine. I don't give a fuck.
I'll
But damn.
guarantee you that he has
I
more
don't
yards
Oh my
and
God.
receptions than David Moore this year. Bet me. I bet you $5.
Shi Smith, who gets and I was about to make a sexual reference, but anyway, who is like your Shi Smith, my Jameer Byrd? I mean, I'm starting to feel that way.
Well,
I mean, there is nobody. You have been nonsensical. Actually, I have plenty of reasons to be behind Jameer Byrd. Motherfucker had 3 touchdowns in a game. God damn it!
And you know what's funny? Both of them went to South Carolina.
Oh yeah, and so did the guy that got cut today.
Yeah, true. Hey, listen, man, I stay consistent, dude. Shout out to
whatever.
Jaycee
Oh man, we haven't even seen the potential as a little rich. I'm just saying that's like little goddamn rich.
No, dude.
That's a little
whenever
rich.
I evaluate a player and I tell you that I think they're going to be a meaningful NFL contributor, you better take that shit to the bank because you best believe I'm right. And by the way,
what did you think about Cameron Artist Payne? What did you think about Cameron Artist Payne? And if you talk any shit on this motherfucker, I will shy you out of here.
Bro, he was average.
Oh my God.
He was average, bro. You're living in the past. I'm living for right now. Read the chat room.
Take these comments down.
Is legit.
Take these comments down because I gotta. You need to be a part of the C3 Panthers podcast by calling into the Cat Calls line. That's right. You can leave a message that we will play on the show right now. The number is 252-228-5098. Cat Calls powered by Avolta. Kevin Brown, solar consultant, also Carolina Panthers fan. Call him at 704-215-3373. K Brown at avolta.us. You can own your own energy, achieve energy independence. If you live in North or South Carolina and you're a home owner, get a fixed rate for life and add equity to your home. Tell Kevin Brown that you heard about us on the Cat Calls where you can call in. And I know I'm hitting you with numbers, homie. I'm hitting you with numbers. 252-228-5098. Be a part of the show. Let's see what these homies got to say.
You shouldn't do that to somebody.
And how did that make you feel?
Very uncomfortable.
So how do you think catcalling makes the person feel?
It feels good, like...
Who's that cat sitting in the back corner with his face buried in his nose? Who's that kid that can use one?
With that, Tony.
C3, what it do? It's your boy Mike.
AKA Supreme Lita.
Supreme Lita.
What's up?
How's it going, guys?
Chilling.
Hope you're having a beautiful Tuesday on this Tuesday of this Tuesday evening of the Tuesday of this week. Training camp, blah, blah, blah. Kieth Kirkward, blah, blah, blah. Hope he's okay, but blah, blah, blah. Can we just acknowledge the fact that the first preseason game is this Thursday night at 8 p.m. on Fox? Oh my God, football is back. Oh my God.
Yeah, let's
We're
go.
too excited there.
Love it.
So, I'm totally stoked for this season. What I do want to know is there a is there a C3 Panthers fantasy football league? You know, I started listening to you guys. It's been about a good year now, almost. Just about, almost. Happy to find y'all. Love y'all
Appreciate you
boys.
joining us, bro.
Listen to y'all every Tuesday. And coming soon every Sunday. And now we have every Friday.
Yes, sir.
Thanks to your boy, Cody Lex. So, is there a C3 Fantasy Football League that I can sign up for? Money or free? It doesn't matter to me. Holla at your boy. Panther Pride till I die. Woo!
My man, that is Mike, aka Supreme Leader, who has been a staple on the Friday Free For All every Friday at 7 p.m. where you can come and hang out with us. And Tony, Supreme Leader, Mike was wondering where's that C3 fantasy football at, bro?
All right. I'm gonna be honest with this. Is that with the fantasy football, it required me printing all these shirts and coming up with all this ridiculous stuff to make it worthwhile. And so I didn't have the foresight right now. Maybe I can get it in the last moment. Well, maybe we'll do it. Like, we need a chin check t-shirt, I think, is the way to go. But I need a t-shirt.
Ask the chat.
That's what I need. I need someone to design a t-shirt, and you can't just send me the JPEG. Like, it actually has to be in the format that the t-shirt printer can do it, which is a ridiculous format. And the only I will say this is that don't ask the chat room, because there has been someone in there who has been more than generous, and Lynn Leonhardt has been phenomenally generous in donating her time to that. So working on it. Maybe we'll bring it back in 2022. Holy cow. I'm all shook coming right now. Y'all shook me. Anyway,
but yeah, man,
I got mad distractions up in this mug. Mad distractions over here in the house. Anyway, so if you guys want in the fantasy football league, or you want me to form it, we have to have 48 teams. Like, that's the rule. Like, the way it works is we got to get 48 people. Miranda, hold up. Let's go to the next call. I'll tell you in just a second.
All right.
Hi, what's up, C3? I am back after a 1 year hiatus. This is Call D.
Call D, what's up, bro?
And first, I'd like to say, Cody.
I knew it. Call D, talk your shit, bro. And I don't hear it no more. Did y'all hear it? Hey, Tony, I don't hear the call no more. Tony. Let me see if I can. Nope. Tony, can you hear me, bro? Wow, he has no idea I'm even talking to him. Well,
he left. I left with him.
Tony. No one. You gotta rewind the whole shit. We couldn't hear it.
I'm distracted, man. There's a lot of stuff going on in my house right now. Can't talk about.
You gotta lock the door, bro.
You're right. When you have kids, when you got. Anyway, all right. You're right. I muted the call. Here it goes. You were fighting. You were like, Tony, can you hear me?
Hi, what's up,
Yeah, I'm
C3?
trying to holler at you.
I am back after a 1 year hiatus. This is called D.
Cody, talk your
going
shit.
on?
Oh, D, baby. Welcome back.
First, I'd like to say, Cody.
Yeah, he wants to talk
Remember
shit to
when you
me, bro.
thought you used to? It seemed like you was the biggest Newton fan. Remember I used to pick on you, call you the capping, Mr. Cap. You had an excuse every time Cam fucked up. Well, I was wrong, Cody. I was the biggest Newton fan. Guess where I was at for a year? When Cam left, I left. I was with the Patriots of all teams. Yes, I hate the Patriots. Never thought I would ever cheer for them.
How you abandoned us that
Cam
quick?
was my favorite player, so I left. When he left, I left with him. I followed his journey. I was with them, all the Patriots podcasts, and I must say that is a little bit. The experience is a little bit different than C3. I'm like, wow.
A lot of bit different.
Like he tried to insert himself into the New England conversation and be a Cam defender. Good luck.
I'm pretty sure you guys knew and seen how good Cam was, and then it was just like that COVID. Just once he got that COVID, he just went downhill. But hey, I still believe in Cam. And I'm still PO'd at your Panthers organization. And
All right. Thanks, Carl, for the call. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off there for not because you abandoned us at the first term. Did we abandon Cam Newton? No, we did not. I just want Cam to have a good. I just want Cam to end on success. That's it. Like, I know, like, there is a dichotomy of fans when it comes to Cam Newton. And it's always been there, bro. Like, from the beginning. Cam Newton hater, Cam Newton lover. Now that Cam Newton's gone, you either are pro-Panther or pro-Cam, right? Like, there's kind of a group of us that are rooting for Cam. I just want Cam to have a good year. I just want his career to end on a high note.
Yeah,
straight
and by
up.
the way, that doesn't make us or me or anyone who thinks that or wants that a bad Panther fan. Like, it just means that we know what Cam Newton did for this football team. Dude, I was arguing with some idiots today, bro. Hey, Sideshow Rob pointed out that his name actually wasn't Twan. Len asked me what his name was. I apologize. I've been saying his name was Twan. But to that, like, man, I don't know, Tony. Like, I'm just like, I'm kind of to the point where
Cam. We're thinking about Cam. Like,
yeah, I
refocus.
know. I'm to the point where it's like I'm tired of like having to defend this person. Like, I've already proved how much of a fan I am.
We're not defending him. Now, you know what? Is I stopped defending him. I just like him.
No, but see, this is the deal.
You know, I don't defend him. Look, I wore this out tonight. Look, I'm wearing it right now, homie. I'm wearing the Cam shirt just out of nowhere.
So my thing with this
I'm
is
not defending him. I'm representing him.
There's a portion of Panther fans that like get mad whenever you wish Cam Newton success or think that he's going to have a good year this year. And bro, that's just bullshit straight up. Like, it's just, it's not, you can pull for Cam Newton and think that he's going to have a good year and still be a Panther fan. Like, it's not that serious. And yeah, man, like,
it's almost like, are you actively rooting for Dave Gettleman to be a shitty GM because he left the Panthers? Right? Like, is that now we have to root, and we embarrassingly I was so I was all in on Dave Gettleman, oh man. Like I thought that this is my like his yokel what are these like Yiddish sayings just fucking wrote me in. I felt like a fish on a hook, like they gave the good lure to it. But I'm not rooting for his failure in New York.
No,
You know, I mean, I'm not necessarily rooting for his success either. I just want Cam Newton. Look, we saw a special fucking player in Carolina, right? Who not only was our first superstar. Come on, let's say this. Our first fucking superstar. You want to tell me it was Alonzo, it was Larry Johnson? I will field those two names. Those are the only two names I will listen to when it comes to a national media sensation. Steve Smith was always the little guy that nobody gave a fuck about. We loved him, but the national media, he wasn't a superstar, right? Cam Newton was a transcendental star in Carolina. And I just wanted that. Look, he did so much for us. I wanted that story. I want that story to be a positive one at the end. That's it.
Yeah, and I think it will be. I do think it will be, man. They definitely they updated their roster this year, so we'll see what they do, man. But yeah,
well,
again,
people
like,
are they're all on that shit right now, man. It's funny to watch that New England Twitter. I ain't gonna lie about that because they hate some Cam.
Bro,
like,
they
hate Cam, and then they'll be like, God damn, this motherfucker is
dude,
like.
I put out a tweet today. Somebody put I don't know what's all this talk about there being a quarterback controversy. Cam Newton is clearly the starter, and I retweeted, "Damn, them boys from Boston in shambles right now."
I know.
And it got a bunch of likes and retweets, and it's true, man. Like,
here's
there's
the thing:
a whole contingent of Panther fans, or not Panther, but Patriots fans that are just actively waiting for him to fail.
Fuck! Don't worry about this. Don't worry about what anybody thinks. Just listen to Bill Belichick. Who is the biggest Cam Newton fan? Period.
Bill Belichick.
It's Bill Belichick, homie. It's been since he's beat. Like when he played him, he said he's the hardest player to prepare for. Today, I saw a video 2 days ago, and they asked Bill Belichick. They were like, "What's Cam like? What's he like now?" And he said he was the same he is in August of last year. This year, he said he's super professional and super excited all the time. Right? I mean, like the dude who wants to shit on everybody. Name me a time that Bill Belichick overflowered a player. Swear to God. I mean, name me one player, and people are going to be like, oh, because he understands Cam is sensitive. Fuck that. Get out of here with that.
Well, you know what's funny? Even before Cam Newton was a Patriot, he was very complimentary.
Right. No, but like
people, Cam Newton when he talked about
people today will be like this: they'll be like, "Oh, well, Bill Belichick knows he's a sensitive heart, so he don't want to talk shit about them." Name me one player in the past for the Patriots that Bill Belichick gave a fuck about their feelings.
Yeah, not even Tom Brady.
I mean, no, he just spoke the straight up truth, and he has never said one negative word about Cam Newton. Moving on, I do want to shout out Trill One, but this is Julius Peppers. He said could be the superstar. And he's right. Look, Julius Peppers was the superstar. It just turns out it's not the face. You know what I'm saying? It's just not a high profile enough position. It's kind of like Aaron Donald for the Rams. I mean, he's the best player in football, but are you putting Aaron Donald on the billboard against Tom Brady?
On a billboard versus Tom Brady? I mean,
no, what I'm saying is Aaron Donald is the best player in football, but he's not the most recognizable. player. You mean he's a star. Cam Newton was a different level than Julius Peppers. And Julius Peppers is my favorite player of all time. So anyway, 252-228-5098.
Yo, guys, it's Nick from up here in Mass.
Nick, what's up, brother?
Just to say that look forward to seeing you guys on Friday. And I've been working a little bit and trying to get some content together. I'm going to focus on, at least on my end, some players that are on the roster, that were on the roster last year as well, that never saw a single snap. So I know that we've been all worried about how we have this sort of remembrance of Ron Rivera and how he would always play the veterans. And we've been worried that Matt Rule is going to try to do the same, or he has been doing the same, so going to put some context to it. But the real reason why I called was because I just wanted to offer my condolences to anyone who was close or knew 704 Charlotte bound.
Wow.
I never talked to the man. I didn't know who he was, but I know that he's a legend, and I've heard his name tossed around quite a bit over the last couple of years. So for anyone that's close with him, I send my condolences. I know it's rough going through something like this. So everybody keep your head up. Football's right around the corner. And I know 704 would be pretty excited for football being right around the corner. So keep your head up, guys. Love the show. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Shout out to Nick. That's been my my co-host on the Friday Free For All. He's been on every single one of them. Yeah, man, dude. I'm telling you, this Panther family is real, man. When one of us hurts, we all hurt. When one of us celebrates, we all celebrate. That's how it is, man. That
was a real call, huh, man? Yeah. That was a straight real call. Is that when my man said he knew he was excited about football coming up? True that. Like, we're fam in this. Hop in the car with us. Hang out with us. That's it. Rest in peace, man. I don't know how my man passed away, but it's terrible. Tomorrow could be your last day. For all of us.
Man.
It's scary.
Cherish it while you got it, man. Cherish it while you got it. And this year, every time Jeremy Chin, because I know that was his favorite player, man. That was in all of his avatar photos. Right. So whenever Jeremy Chin, number 21, puts the chin check on these fools, man, we're going to put the hands up to our man 704.
704. We got to figure, we're going to have to do something like that. Every time Jeremy Chin, like, we got to hit him with the chin check. 704.
So
like, player of the game.
704 chin check.
I do, yeah. Man. It's really important to me, and I know I droned on and on about this earlier, but we've been doing this podcast for 9 years. 9 years. And some of the people have changed that have been on it. But this podcast was birthed, and Joe Riolano, my boy, who's like my brother, he's my older brother, who has experienced like monumental health problems, but so many people have, right? So I'm not trying to, like, ultimately is that we have continued to be a family through one common discussion. And I'm not saying is that like we argue all the time. Fuck that. I would tell Cody all the time he's fucking ridiculous or whatever. But we have a common interest that has brought us together. So God bless 704. Rest in peace. And as well to his family. I hope, I don't know what to say to someone in that. I hope you find some peace in this moment. 252-228-5098.
What's going on, C3 Nation? It's your boy Jay Anderson hitting y'all up.
What's up, Jay?
Jay, what's up, bro?
First and foremost, man, I like to, say rest in peace to 704 704 Charlotte bound, man.
So
I never knew you personally. I just see him on y'all content and on Pat Coltrane content, and do see dude seemed real cool and everything. Just on my perspective. So shout out to him. RIP to him. Press to his family, family and friends, press to them. But other than that, man, I went to the practice Saturday and Monday.
All right.
And all I can say, man, is the energy is hella different. I mean, you can tell Cam has been missing. And I know Panther fans don't want you to bring up Cam Newton and stuff like that. But just basically a lot of us, our first time seeing them boys in practice since 2019 when Cam was there. So, that probably won't be going away. But, at the same time, man, the defense looked good. I know it's just camp. The defense looked good. Horn, he looks good, even though, he's grabby, which is not, it's not that big of a deal. But, when you're a rookie, it is. Once you become a vet, you can get away with being grabby and stuff like that. But as a rookie, you can't be that grabby. So, Sam Darnold is Sam Darnold. I've been saying that,
God damn.
Ever since he was college.
That's not what we want to hear.
Not that dude. Camp didn't
don't know that yet.
That he's not that dude. I mean, it just continue ever since his Southern Cal days. His Southern Cal days. I didn't see it, and I still don't see it. I still don't see it a big deal. But this is camp, so once the season starts, we'll see. The running game. Hopefully, the running game can save him. And they most likely they're gonna have to rely on the running game a lot, even though they got weapons outside. I just don't trust Sam Darnold, slinging the football like that. He most likely gonna have to be a game manager, but I don't see him being.
I don't like to hear that, bro.
Other than that, man, y'all have a good win. Y'all have a good day, man. At the same time, God bless the family of 704 Charlotte Bound, man.
Amen. Right, rest in peace. The number is 252-228-5098. Smash the thumbs up button. Give the show a share. That's it. I mean, if you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or listening on iTunes, tune in, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast. The best thing you can do is tell one friend about the podcast, one friend about the show. 704, rest in peace. When we come back to the Carolina Panthers, he says this is that he was a little interested in the lack of energy that comes back to this practice. I'm not freaked out about this. Again, I think all of this rests on Sam Darnold. But look, Christian McCaffrey is a star, bro. And we got some star-ass wide receivers. If this passing game is not dynamic, it don't matter what Christian McCaffrey does. Right? His 2000 year was when Cam was hurt.
But Tony, you get now why I'm saying that it's like boom or bust. Because, dude, if you can't make something out of all of that talent and be able to get the ball downfield, and if you can't make nothing work with that, then it means either the offensive line is god awful, or Sam Darnold just isn't getting the job done. In which case, if he's not able to deliver with that kind of talent, then we're dead on arrival, man. The problem is this: nobody wants to have a flimsy, ho-hum, on the border, on the fence opinion. Everybody wants to have a strong opinion. Everybody wants to say, oh, either Sam Darnold is going to be an MVP caliber talent that we didn't see coming, or he's going to be a bust.
There's nobody in the world that
people want to be mad about this, or they want to be super excited. People want to shit all over Sam Darnold before they've even had a chance to see what he can do on the football field. I'll say to him what I say to everybody else right now. It is entirely too early to make that assessment. all of the things that we said that were going to benefit Sam Darnold,
he's either
we
gonna
have not.
suck.
He has not had an opportunity to be in that scenario yet and actually take advantage of these
What
weapons
happens?
and the playbook.
All right, actually, I'm gonna take the middle of the road here. So you say it's a boomer bust, right? Is that people either gonna say Sam Darnold is a shit or the could be great? What happens if Sam Darnold goes 9-7 or 9-8 because we're on 17 games? Like, what happens if he is pretty good? You know, throws. Say he throws more touchdowns than picks. Obviously, he throws 3,000 yards. Right? He plays a season that is similar to Teddy Bridgewater, but the Panthers have a decent record. So your boomer bust shit goes out the window. What do you do? And I'm not saying what do you do is like, do you replace Sam Darnold or not? But again, I believe it all circles back to Sam Darnold. Right? Like, I mean, he's either the answer or he's not.
Yeah, but that scenario that you just said, like, yeah, that's not going to make it.
If he's 9-8,
that's not
if he's
good
9-8 and he's kind of okay, but not good,
then I want to move on.
If he has the,
I want to move on. Straight up. I don't want no average
Word
bullshit. Tony, I said this during the draft. I don't want these middle round draft picks. I either want the best of the best, or I want it to be dog shit.
You
so that
are.
way we can have the better
You are
draft
consistent,
pick.
homie.
Yes,
you
man.
are consistent.
Dude, I would rather be bad as fuck than be a middle of the pack, average ho-hum bullshit football team. I'm not about it.
Welcome to Carolina, homie.
And by the way, Sam will have technically even less excuses than Teddy Bridgewater. Because I would say that our receiving core
he's got more excuses.
I would say that our receiving core this year is better than it was last year. So if Sam Darnold,
DJ Moore,
if Sam Darnold is only able to reproduce a season that is somewhat similar to Teddy Bridgewater, then nah, dude, I'm not about it.
If his season is all right, how about this? And a tough question for you. If his season is the exact statistically as Teddy Bridgewater, like the same exact wins, the same exact touchdowns or whatever, you're gonna shit on Sam more than Teddy?
That's not what one shout out.
Are you gonna say this as Teddy had a major injury or whatever? Man, fuck Teddy. Teddy was I am not backing down from this, folks.
Yeah, but
Teddy Bridgewater is a fool's gold. Most fool's gold. Like, it's like you picked up this like gold block and you're like a pen in Alaska and you pick it up and it's fake as fuck. That was Teddy Bridgewater, huh, man? And don't give me this shit where he's like, I'm gonna go into the jungle and come out with a fur vest and I don't even like him. That's the problem. I don't like him I don't want to hang out with him. That's my thing about Teddy Bridgewater.
My point
not only he sucks, I don't even want to hang out with him.
This is why I think I'm being fair. Because I agree with you. I think Sam Darnold is going to be a much better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater. I stay consistent that I do think this receiving core is better than it was last year. And I'll stand by that. And I'm also thinking that this offensive line, even though it's kind of shaky right now, this offensive line has the potential to be even a little bit better than it was last year. And we have Christian McCaffrey coming back. So what that means is if Sam Darnold puts up an identical season to what Teddy Bridgewater did, then I'm not even trying to kick the can on a year two and run this back with Sam Darnold.
Right.
It's time to fix the quarterback position.
I got you. All
Shout out to the man that was here, though. It says, on behalf of 704 Charlotte Bound, C3 Panther family. prayers and keep pounding to his family, man. Yeah, again, everybody's mourning the loss of our good brother, our good friend 704 Charlotte Bound. Tonight we dedicate to his memory. Yeah, man, sad night, but again, it's like death. Again, not to get too deep in the weeds here, but I don't think I think that death is a human concept. I don't believe in death on a spiritual level. I believe that all of our loved ones persist us, and that we'll see them again in some way, shape, or form. I believe
How
that.
about this? In memory, I think a lot of, I'm a historian by trade, but in memory, we exist, right? And so we're trying, and the idea is to memorialize someone, right? Like you put up a memorial for someone. And the way to preserve or remember someone's life is through memory. That's it. It's like, look, let's acknowledge that people are going through tough times. And tomorrow could be like, tomorrow this podcast could be over. Could be great. It could be this and that. It's precious. And again, we're trying to create a community where we all come together and talk about the same thing. And it's been wonderful. We've made fantastic friendships. And let's hear about a little bit. I won't say a little bit more of those friendships, because this next call could be like, you're the asshole. But the number is 252-228-5098.
Hey guys, this is Steve from Royal Beach giving you guys a call. Hope you're all doing well. I was thinking about that drop that JD Moore dropped and DJ Moore dropped, and everybody tagging over and everything. And Cody says it could be whose fault was and everything. I think that's more of a thinking, hey, I have no stuff on to protect myself, and do I really want to fall on my head or my back or my side and bust a rib or a shoulder or something? So I feel, let me let that next ball go by, having a meaningless training camp game. That's my opinion. Oh, and Cody, when you were talking about the Beastie Boys, they're like a boy band on steroids.
Get them.
They were okay. They had 2 months of hits, though. And
it's on my side.
Of the of rap rock. So they were kind of more historical than a quality band. But
yes, thank you.
They're pretty hip. You guys all have a great day. I'm excited about the Panthers defense and Marshall and
next call.
40 days to season, I guess.
Thank you.
Next call.
Thank you, man. Finally,
some
of us have musical sense, bro.
It's been a while since
I'm gonna go back.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, this is Tyler from Spruce Pine. It's been a while since I've called, but I just wanted to talk about something that I don't hear talked about enough. And I saw a breakdown of cap space the other day, and I think that we're number one with $24 million left in cap space. New Orleans is number two with like $11 million, and then you've got Tampa and Atlanta at 3 and 4. I'm not sure what they have, but it's not that much. At the beginning of the offseason, the Saints were in cap hell. I think they were like $40 million over the cap, or maybe more. We've been in cap hell, it seems like, forever. And that partly is probably to do with Marty Hurney. Hopefully that cap hell
12 years later.
Got better. I think
12 years.
Been a lot better with managing the cap and contracts, like with Moton's latest contract and all that stuff. But at the same time, how in the hell are the Saints $11 million over the cap?
The salary cap's imaginary.
I don't understand it. And I think this cap situation, it just feels like it applies differently to different teams. And maybe that's just me being biased. But at the same time, like, I want to see a breakdown of how they got out of this cap hell. I realized that Drew Brees retired, and that probably cleared up quite a bit of space for them. But at the same time, not that much space. Like, I want to see a breakdown of everything they did to get under the cap, from being $40 million over to under the cap, because there's been years in the past where I know that they've been over the cap and they've signed big name players to long-term deals. And it seems like when we're in that situation, we can't even sign a free agent for the veteran minimum.
True that.
You know, it just don't make much sense to me at all. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that
All
up.
right, thank you very much for that call. And you're right, is that the Saints have been doing voodoo magic on the fucking salary cap for years.
It doesn't
But
exist.
I will say this, is that I almost believe that it's a kind of a referendum on what the Carolina Panthers have done, is that we have not been able to manipulate the cap as well as these other teams have. And ultimately, it comes down to restructures, folks. So what happens is that you have a salary cap number, it's like 187. First of all, when we started this podcast, bro, the salary cap was at $112 million. Think about that. $187 million now. It has gone up $70 million since then. It went up $3 million a click in the first couple of years that we did this podcast. But what these teams are doing is they're restructuring people's deals, and they're shifting some of that money and they're spreading it out. So they're kind of fucking themselves on the back end. But the caller is 100% right. How is the Carolina Panthers? We were in cap hell in 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. When the fuck are we getting our money? When do we get our money to get some players? Cody, what is going on? Where have we gone wrong? And I don't think we've overpaid. Are we ready for a bonanza? We might be close, because a lot of the sites have said next year the Panthers are poised with some money.
We need, and I think we have one now, a gangsta-ass GM who knows how to work around all these different loopholes that all these other teams have clearly been knowing about for years. I'm thinking about New Orleans. I'm thinking about Philadelphia. There's always these teams that spend all this money, and they always seem to just print new money and restructure contracts, and they're able to bring in players. And yeah, that hasn't been us. And traditionally, we haven't been a free agent destination either. So we haven't really had either of those things. We're at a place in our history where both of those things can change right now. And, you know, we're obviously hoping that it does. Again, I think it's imaginary, man. It's like Santa Claus. That bullshit isn't real. You just wish it away and it goes away. That's kind of what I
it's
think.
voodoo magic. It's voodoo magic, but
it's the Easter Bunny, bro.
No, but like, who has gone out there and overspent this year? I don't think the Saints have. I don't feel like the Saints have. In the past, the Saints have found a way to go get the shit.
So
we're actually, we got Hassan Reddick. We did some things. I think we got to bring this question back, and I'm going to play the next call as you think about it. Was the offseason unfruitful, fruitful, or yeah?
Before we get to the next call, the last call brought up the Sam Darnold play. I brought this up on my Friday Free For All show, and I wanted to get your opinion on it too. This is like on the first day of practice, and the question was, should DJ Moore have grabbed this ball, or should Sam Darnold have put it a little bit lower? So I'll let it play.
Who gives a goddamn fuck? All right, let's see. Oh, he should have caught that motherfucker. Right away, he should have caught that. Hit him in the hands, right? Say it again.
Hit him in the head. So, like, that's right there. So,
that's a catch. I mean, catch that. And I'm not saying, like, I'm not going to shit on DJ for not making a catch, but damn it. Don't shit on Sam.
Again, it's not the argumentative answer that everybody wants, but I kind of think it's both. I kind of think DJ Moore needs to catch that ball. But Sam probably does. Like, if you look right there, he's having to reach up a little bit. Technically, he shouldn't have to jump. He should be able to put his hands out in front of him and grab the ball. So it was a little bit of both, man. They're finding that rhythm. They're trying to get on the same tendency. But now that'd be interesting to get your opinion because it was pretty controversial.
Like my man's gonna catch that ball, and I'm not saying like, why are we gonna really criticize the quarterback that much over that? Come on. And I'm not trying to fight over DJ. Like, I'm not like trying to fight DJ on that, but damn, it did lead to an interception. The number is 252-228-5098. You're listening to the longest running Panthers podcast. Let's go to the next call. Play, homie.
Hey guys, it's Joey.
What up, Joey?
And that was some interesting development out of training camp. Like, when I first found out about it, I was at work, and I'm actually going to admit something here. Like, if I have to go to the bathroom, I'll, like, surf the web for, 5 minutes or so. And I came across a post from one of the news channels in Charlotte that said that was talking about the that hit JT Ibe had on Kirkward, and then we were on the way to the Thai restaurant. My mom asked who is this guy, and I was like, who, the defensive back or the receiver? And she goes, the defensive back, and I was like, I don't know, I never heard of his ass. But for him to be cut immediately after that play, it kind of makes me think there's something that things just weren't clicking between eBay and I don't know, some people, I don't know who, maybe Matt Rule, maybe Phil Snow, maybe things weren't going well, because for Matt Rule to feel that this guy, he's got to go. I think there might have been something there, he, something had to happen for Matt Rule not to want to teach us, dude. And I wonder if Cody knows anything about that, because Cody's the one that has the ear to the street. Anyway, guys. Wow. Oh, so excited for August 15th. Can't wait. I'm going to see about going to that game, too. Preseason game. It'll be hot as balls.
All right, next call.
Wait. Hey, hold on. Pause it real quick. We got a wild CK joining.
Whoa. Who is this dude? Holy moly.
Sorry, guys.
No, you don't apologize. Don't apologize. We picked you up. This motherfucker was thumbing on the highway. He was thumbing on the highway. We picked him up on the way to the game. He was wearing the Panthers jersey. What's up, CK?
Oh, just hanging out, having a good time. Sorry I missed the majority of that. I know you guys probably talked about a lot, but hey, I'm here to finish it out.
All right. Well, we're in the cat calls. Let's keep going.
Have you used my sound clip?
Cody, I was saying,
what's that?
Have you used the sound clip?
No. We have not.
I've heard it. I know Tony hasn't heard it, but it's fucking awesome. And we're going to do some cool shit.
Is it the one in Discord?
Yeah.
There's only one, right?
Yeah.
All right. I got it. I got you. All right. Keep going, folks. 252-228-5098.
Right. You was right about the Oregon quarterback. I can't think of his name right now.
Justin Herbert.
He had a good season, surprisingly. I didn't see none of his skill set at Oregon, his whole career at Oregon. I did not see it at all, Cody. However, I still say I'm still not going to predict him to be the quarterback that everybody mysteriously or now praising saying he's supposed to be. I still see him as an average quarterback, NFL quarterback over his career at best.
Average?
But anyway,
Why?
good to see you got the Pam back. Hopefully it's going to be a good year. We'll just see what happens, okay? All right. Keep pounding.
Keep pounding. Hey, man, I stand by my evaluations, man. I'm really trying to, really put these professional scouting evaluations out when I look at these players. And I said Justin Herbert was a product of that system failing him. And you put him in an NFL system and you see what happened, man. Just like I'm telling you with Shi Smith, Tony. Shi Smith's about to ball out this year, and I'm going to be right again, bro.
Did you guys talk about his that play, that highlight that he has from training camp?
Who's Shi?
No, Herbert.
Oh, that missile launcher he shot to the back of the end zone?
70-yard bomb, bro?
Yeah, I've got it on my...
Yeah.
Bro.
It's different. If you compare Justin Herbert to Shi Smith, you're just being a dick.
No one's comparing them. I'm just saying
You
I know
just
my
did.
shit.
You just did.
No.
I didn't compare them. I said I know my shit. When I say something about a player,
I know my shit.
I'm right about them.
CK, I don't know how to use Discord well enough.
I think you should just
Can
be
you
able to
send
download
it to me in a message or something? I know you did already. But
you should be able to, if you pull up Discord, you should be able to. Are you in Discord now?
I am.
If you look at the MP3, there's the download on the right side.
No, I'd love to find the MP3. I can't find it.
I'll send it to you in a message.
Oh, well.
By the way, this was that bomb that Justin Herbert threw, rolling on us right on the run. Throws the ball 70 yards to the back.
I saw it earlier on my phone. Oh,
dude,
yeah,
he's
I
a
know.
fucking freak, man.
See, this is the problem.
Panther fans would have been so upset if we drafted Justin Herbert, dude. Oh,
No, we would not have. We would have gone nutso and good.
No, because we didn't have. Remember,
what would we have done instead? Who did we draft instead?
We drafted last year. It was
Derek Brown.
Derek Brown.
Oh, we missed him. We missed him by a pick, right?
We still had Cam at that point.
No. That was the first year without Cam. He had already been off the team.
No, they didn't cut him until after the draft.
Yeah, it wasn't until after the draft.
Are you sure about that?
He doesn't feel comfortable about
Because
it.
we only had Teddy Bridgewater for 1 year, and that was last year, and that was Derek Brown's first year as well.
Dude, I seem to remember thinking that we should
Well,
draft
remember
a quarterback.
differently. Think about it as we go on to the next call. The number is 252-228-5098.
Yeah, we cut him before.
No. Well, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about the Super Bowl. I'm thinking about the
We
Super
gotta
Bowl.
keep making these calls.
Dude,
We're on a good page.
It's Panther Blue. My
We
name
can
is
be
Rick.
done. We can be done by 11:10, folks. Come on.
Oh, who gives a damn? Play the call.
I care.
Calling in for the first time, wanted to say that the issue with the one player being
my man's calling in from the
being
first time. We're gonna fill the full call.
Sorry, I got cut off.
Nope.
Hey, guys.
Hey, C3, it's Panther Blue. My name is Rick. Calling in for the first time, wanted to say that
What's up, Rich?
the issue with the one player being cut, I think the rule was sending us
My man's first call went bust. He was about to get all right. Here's next. Here he is. He's coming back.
Hi, this is Rick, aka it's Panther Blue. I'm calling to discuss the player that was cut. I think he was cut because Rule wanted to set an example, because this was the third or fourth time during this camp that they had too rough contact during practice, and they stopped practice a couple of times. And finally, this time I think Rule was like, enough's enough, and did what he had to do. Your thoughts? I'd love to hear them. Thanks. Keep pounding.
All right, so I do think this is important. Today, a player was cut immediately after the hit, and we talked about it very much in the beginning of the show. But Kieth Kirkward was carted out on the stretcher. Ambulance came out. They were worried about neck mobility, which you should. Like when you get hit in the head, like they have to treat injuries. Like when someone's night.
Yeah.
They have to believe that it's the worst, because if you don't believe it's the worst and you treat it poorly, you can make it worse. The question I continue to circle back to is that we hear that Matt Rule is a teaching coach, right? Is a guy who has been able to work with people who at times are on the fringe. Is that guys that are not perfect. This dude got his walking papers before he even got into the locker room.
I mean, the
question I remain is does this demonstrate that Matt Rule is under stress?
I think
distress, or is he trying to send a message?
You've talked enough about it, I'm sure, but my 2 cents is if he was a good player, he wouldn't have gotten cut.
Right.
100%.
Like we don't know what this past week has
been. If it was
been.
Jeremy Chin, he's like they're giving him a medal.
Right. I mean, here's the thing is we don't know what this past week had. We don't know what his practice were like. We haven't heard his name all camp, right? So and to be fair, if he was going up against Kieth Kirkward, he wasn't running with the ones. So he was what was the chances he was about to make the team? He was an undrafted rookie, and he was coming in honestly to provide maybe some depth if he's able to make the team. If he was able to make the team.
Is that the coaching staff big dick in it though a little bit? Then, like if you're picking on the fringe guy, like, and you're trying to make an example out of this, I won't say a poor guy making the team, but like someone you didn't think was gonna make the team anyway. Are they BD in this dude?
Maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was toxic in the locker room. I mean, you got to think there's a lot of different things that can go into this that we don't know the behind the scenes of. I think right now it's fair to say that they made a decision, and I don't think it was emotional. I think it was very. I mean, let's be honest. This wasn't just Rule making this choice. This is something that Fitterer has to be in on as well. And if he believed that this was the case, then we have to assume that they probably have had conversations about who was going to be good and who wasn't. And maybe this guy wasn't showing what he needed to, and they wanted to get somebody in who might be able to take that roster spot and actually make something of it. I mean, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, and not to, no pun intended.
I like that they treated him fairly. We would be freaking the fuck out if he had done that to DJ Moore or Terrace Marshall or Christian McCaffrey. So it's like the fact that it was a no-name guy on both ends, they kept it, even Steven. And again, maybe it was a little too heavy-handed, but I can't freak out about this too. It's a second-year Matt Rule trying to implement a culture and set a precedent of how to practice safely. So again, maybe it was a little heavy-handed, but I can't freak out about it.
Then go ahead. Actually, I think that might have been the last one. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, nope. One more.
Hi, what's up, guys?
Oh, no, it came in 2. That didn't work. One more.
Hi, what's up, guys? This is Carl D. One more time. I just found that Cody, free for all Fridays. I could come on me and you one-on-one.
Get on.
100%, bro.
Yeah. Cody, I've been waiting for this for almost 2 years. Finally, a one-on-one with you.
Let's go.
Thank you, Cody, for having that free for all Fridays. And I will see you soon, sir.
Carl D got kicked out of. You know what? Carl D got kicked out of all the damn New England free for alls.
Yo, hey, Carl D, come talk this shit, bro. That's what the Friday free for all is all about. Anybody who wants to join, hang out Friday at 7 p.m. Yeah, man, that's what we're doing. And
CK, I need you to send me that God damn it!
All
I
right,
don't know
so
how
do
to
you
use
have
Discord. It's too
right.
fancy, man.
You have your
How the
Discord
fuck
pulled
I
up,
can't
right?
find? Yeah, I got
All
it
right.
pulled up.
Do you see up at the top
I'm
left
about
where
to hit my share screen, yo.
do you see at the top
You know
left where
what?
it says home? Like if you see that little Discord symbol up at
Yep.
the top left,
Yep.
click that.
Got it.
And then you
Got
should
it.
see a message for you.
Word up. Home. Who would have thought that made any sense? Who would have thought that the word home on Discord is fancy for you kids. All right. So what have we talked about tonight? We've talked about the hit to Kirkwood. We talked about the release. Well, we did not talk about is the fucking protection of Shaq Thompson. God damn, they treat Shaq Thompson with kid gloves on this team. Anyway, AJ Bouye and Shaq Thompson have been out of practice.
Yeah.
We don't, no big deal or whatever they tell us. Are there any other storylines that have emerged from this training camp before we get to this new segment, folks? And you want to stick around it. If you are a David Newton hater, you'll love it. If you're a David Newton supporter, you'll love it.
David Newton has supporters?
Me,
News
bro.
to
This
me.
dude is my spirit animal.
Of course you are.
I love this guy. Like, I don't dislike David Newton at this point.
I dislike him.
He's my guy, dude.
Like
tremendously.
Honestly,
nobody said anything quickly. Come on, give me a story. Anything we need to talk about before we move on to the David Newton discussion.
I mean, do we want to talk about
That's it?
Hold on, there was something that I felt like I was watching today that was important. I mean, have you guys already talked about the overreaction to Sam Darnold's bad day and
totally.
Yeah, I've been taught. Everybody wants to have strong opinions. Really,
it is time. It is time for the new segment. You need to hold on, folks, because we will be doing the Ice Up Son segment in a moment, the longest running segment on the C3 Panthers podcast, where we tell someone to ice up, toughen up, to get it together in an homage to Steve Smith. But now, our homage comes to, I don't even know how to say it. Is it an homage? Is it a tracker? Is it a laugher? I don't know. David Newton, folks, is a treasure to the Carolina Panthers. And right now, the debacle tracker starts.
David Newton debacle.
It's a David Newton debacle. That's right. It's a David Newton debacle, folks. Every week is a David Newton debacle. I mean, does anyone want to put out their favorite David Newton debacle before we unleash the David Newton debacle segment? Because it's coming. It's a weekly tracker now. For now on, we are tracking the David Newton debacle. We're the team, bro. Like, does it go back to what? Come back. I mean, like, we can go years back. I mean, my favorite is when Cody said this, is that he took a picture of this white dude and won't Christian McCaffrey. He said it was Christian McCaffrey. Like, I died. He said, Cody sent me this message. He said, "Goddamn David Newton. He picked one white boy."
Yeah, the first white boy that he saw with big shoulders and triceps and calves and quads was like, oh yeah, that's Christian McCaffrey. By the way, when CK came into the chat room, somebody put, "Hey, CMC's in here," as like a little as a shout out to Dave Newton. But yeah, dude, like I'm
Is
not
there a
with it,
week
man.
that goes by where he doesn't fuck something up? And we have asked, I swear to God, if he ever comes on this show, we'll straight up ask him, is it intentional?
Oh, yeah.
Is it a spoof?
Oh, I'm not
That's what I
gonna.
want
If
to
we
know.
actually get him, I'm going to ask him all the questions that Panther fans will
You
want to
ain't gonna
ask
ask him shit. You're gonna be like,
Bull fucking shit. He'll be right on here. I'll be like, hey, David, why do you always misspell every name of every player on the team?
that's low hanging fruit. Everybody misspells something. It's when it's ridiculous.
No, it's
though.
all the time.
Like when
though.
you
And
put
by
the
the way, he
picture
gets
up.
paid to do it. He gets paid to do it. Why
Well,
is that
I
too
get
much for him
paid.
to
Well,
spell check
actually,
himself?
I don't get paid to do this. All right, here is all right, so what is your favorite David Newton debacle?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, but easily when he was caught liking porn on his official Twitter account, liking like hardcore porn, and not just one video, but like multiple different
You're
videos.
lying now.
Are you actually going to tell me that you don't fucking remember this, Tony?
No, I remember he did it, but multiple. But multiple.
There was more than one. There was more than one video of him liking
That's
hardcore
wonderful.
porn videos.
That's wonderful.
dude.
Again, spirit animal. Spirit animal. I'm
but
attracted
like,
to this dude.
people are wanting to give him too much credit. Now, he's in on it. Oh, he knows. Oh, he's
This
just
motherfucker is a
nah,
genius.
bro. He's
I mean,
just a grade A dumbass, and he
He's a
gets paid to do a
genius.
job that any of us could be doing, man. Every year,
He's a
ESPN
genius.
fires like half of their reporting staff, and yet they keep Dave Newton all the time.
I think he's
What?
got. I think he's
What
got.
sense does that make?
I think he's got some sort of some dirt on the executives over there.
He must.
No, he's got the clicks, homie. He's got the clicks. Like I'm telling you, we are feeding into it.
Did you?
We are doing a David Newton debacle segment on this show right now because he is so unreally awesome. Like every question he asked the most ridiculous and awesome questions.
And he manages to piss
All
off
right.
everyone.
All right. So, CK, do you have a favorite David Newton discussion before I play it?
No, go ahead and do it.
All
Go
right.
play it.
All right.
David Newton debacle.
It's the David Newton debacle segment where we talk about where David Newton every week fucks up everything and gets more clicks than anybody. Come on the show. I'm telling you, open invite, homie. Anytime you want to come on. First question, is it straight or is it a troll? This week he asked, hold on. I was kind of ready. I had all
you want me to play the
notes.
video? I got the video. You want me to play
You got it ready?
I got it.
It's at
queued
7
up and
minutes.
everything, bro.
You got it at 7 minutes?
Tony, I'm the shit. Do you not
Oh
know?
my God. My man. My man. My man.
You can barely hear David.
It's first I've heard of it, and I have really no comment on that.
All right, pause it for a second. Pause it for go back. Pause it for a second. So the question my man asked Matt Rule after training camp is like all these people are playing out practice. We're all this. David Newton's question is, what do you think about Jeremy Chin's nickname as Baby LeBron? And Matt Rule in this stupid ass hat, and this stupid ass beard. Go ahead.
Baby LeBron, what do you think of that nickname for him? How fitting is it? It's first I've heard of it, and I have really no comment on that. I don't know anything about
I mean, LeBron's a pretty big compliment. So, I mean, when you is that pretty high cotton for that?
Yeah, I have no comment on that.
I don't give a fuck
dude,
about
I
this.
have no idea what in
he
the
tried
fuck
to
you're
follow
talking
up,
about, bro.
He tried to follow up, homie. He tried to follow up on it. Fuck you.
He's been reaching
bro.
for that. Like the funny thing is, I don't know if you watched every interview from that day. He not only asked him, he asked JC Horn about it, Andy asked Jeremy
everybody, Dante Jackson, everybody.
And by the way, you know
he's a fucking troll, dude. He's wonderful, man. I like him. He's my dude.
You know that he thought that was a fire question too.
You're
He's like,
absolutely right.
dude, I'm gonna ask them what they think about them calling him Baby LeBron. Yeah, I'm real fucking.
And Matt Rule said, "I just call him Chinny, motherfucker." He said, first of all, Matt Rule said no comment. Hey, straight up, no comment. Like that's the most kind of like unbiased answer you can give anybody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like he was like this. It's like he didn't want to delve into like I don't like people's nicknames, this or that. He just said his first answer was no fucking comment. And then next was I just call him Chinny. Wonderful. I don't know if I like Matt Rule more for this, but I like David Newton more now. Done.
I just want to give him too much credit. He's not smart enough
He's
to
a
pull
genius,
this off
bro.
as a troll.
He's goddamn genius.
No, he's
David Newton debacle.
He's a genius, man. He's like Trump, dude. Just threads the needle.
a part of my
Threads
soul
the
dies
goddamn
whenever I
needle.
hear him ask another
Dude,
dumbass.
every time I get
question.
ready, like they like, all right, David, I'm like, oh God, please let there be another person named David. Like, and then I hear his voice, and I'm like, I didn't used to dislike David Newton. Like, I didn't like him. I didn't read it.
I love him, man. Like it grows in my heart more and more.
And you saw he was slandering Cam Newton recently too.
Oh,
He's
God.
man, nah, all that shit is just he's like the best tabloid journalist in the world. Like, I would hire him straight up. Like, David Newton getting you clicks, I mean. You clicks.
David Newton has no journalistic integrity. That's what I'll say.
Don't give a fuck, man. My man's getting clicks. All right. So we've done anything else you want to talk about? I need to get out of here. It's 11:11. It's my birthday. No, you're right. We still got to do the ice up picks, but are there any other camp talk things you need to talk about before we move on? Cody,
I'll say
I'm
this
asking you.
I'll say from my perspective, I'm not like, I don't feel like we're having a very good. I mean, they might try to sell it, but I don't feel like we're having a good training camp so far.
You know what? Maybe that's a good thing, though. Is like, man, like, how do you know if you're having a good training camp, though?
Right.
Like, I mean, it's supposed to suck. Like, we're all supposed to suck right now. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of difficult. It's been kind of boring, and that's a good thing. No injuries, no major injuries. 2, I do think we're kind of leaning into a very heavy-handed Matt Rule world. And what I mean by that is, like, we're all coming out saying, was Matt Rule happy after practice or not? Like, he is kind of turning into our guru. And he better be awesome. That's all I'm saying.
I think he will be.
I'll say this much. I don't know. Cam Irving, with his press conference, made me feel a little more comfortable with him as a veteran on the team. We'll see what he is on the actual line, but I don't know if you guys watched this press conference, but he's a pro's pro. So
I know, and he will probably be our left tackle. I hate to tell you all that. All right, let's go to the longest running segment on the show. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's do it.
It's the ice up segment where we tell someone to ice up to get it together. Everyone's fair game. Who is ready for this shit tonight?
I've got one.
Oh, holy cow, you weirdo.
It's a legit ice up too. Like, it's not, and this is honestly an ice up pick that is like I am honestly concerned, and I really wish that they do get better. It's not even like an underhanded ice up, and it might be low hanging fruit, but the Indianapolis Colts, all I have to say is if you're having to deal with a quarterback with foot injuries and an offensive lineman who relies heavily on that foot and that planting of that foot, ice up, Colts. I'm hoping that it's not as bad as it is, man.
And their offensive lineman just got it too, like their best, one of their best ones.
Like that.
Yuck. All right, who's next? You want me to go?
Do it.
No, mine's so short and so simple, and I don't even have much to say. Is that there is now a new strain of the coronavirus called the Delta Plus variant.
Yeah.
Like, holy fuck.
Delta Plus? It's not even Delta. It's Delta Plus.
Hey, dude, do I have to pay $10 a month for my Delta Plus subscription? Like, what in the fuck are we... Dude, it's about to get so much more annoying, dude. To whoever names this shit and to the dumb world that we live in and all the dumb things that continue to happen in it, ice up, son. That's all I got to say.
My ice up pick goes to this cat who, and we're going to watch this video. You guys got to watch it.
All right.
But this cat was mad shouting his like lineage of money.
Oh, I saw that.
Right. Like he's like, I got money. My mom, I got money. My grandparents got money. But this motherfucker was flying on Frontier. So my ice up pick goes to the brother who is flying on Frontier that has money. Straight up. Why are you on the discount joint? Straight up. Why are you on the discount joint? Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Goddamn dollars. And you know what?
His parents are worth $2 million.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? My grandpa.
Wait. Y'all just gotta wait. This shit's great, bro. This bitchy ass white boy. Now he's fighting with an attendant. Bitchy ass white boy talking about how rich his grandparents are. This motherfucker straight up, this bitch was talking shit, saying my parents are worth $2 million and fought an attendant, and they duct taped his ass to the straight duct taped him. They wrapped duct tape around his body, and then at the end of the video, the guy comes down and pulls it down over his nose to make sure he can breathe. Frontier, the entire Frontier staff or crew has been suspended because of this incident. And I say, liberate them bitches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck that kid and his rich ass parents. Why are you flying on Frontier anyway, motherfucker? If you so rich, shut the fuck up. Come on. You bitch ass motherfucker should have gotten punched in the face too while you got duct taped. I'm all behind these Frontier workers. That's my ice up pick. This rich ass bitch.
Did you hear? He also, before that, he was like groping titties and shit. Like,
yeah, I don't really believe that, but I don't believe it's like groping. He's like probably punching. I think he was probably punching him or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think groping is the right word.
I think he clearly feels entitled based on his words.
Well, guess what? Fuck that motherfucker. Duct tape that bitch up and don't fly Frontier is my advice. All right, This is the C3 Panthers podcast. The number is 252-228-5098. Every Tuesday night, we're live at 9 p.m. And CK, I need your help next week, homie.
All right.
I'm on vacation. Cody Lashney is going to be the host of the show. I need you to help him.
So it's going to be the C2 podcast.
Oh, okay, good.
I'll bring you in some motherfucking. You want me to come in? I'll come in, but you don't want it. Anyway, it's already bad enough when I'm here on Tuesday nights. We're rolling. That's it. Where are they going to find your work, Cody? I got to get out of here. I mean, I really got to get out of here. I got shit to do.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Not really shit to do, but like my wife.
Yeah.
Whoop.
Follow me on Twitter at Cody Lax, CODYLAC. Brand new mock draft coming out tomorrow on drafttech.com with the first round comments for the Panthers. And every Friday at 7 p.m., tune in for the Friday free for all. And you can come in to talk shit about the Panthers and whatever else you want to talk about. Fridays for the fans.
Next week, we will be talking about the next David Newton gaff. But until then, how can they find you, Cody? Or not Cody. I mean, I know that's your name. CK.
You can find me on all the platforms. I am trying to get into this GTARP. And hopefully I'm going to be.
He said, I'm trying. What? Your soul's not into it yet?
No, I just got to find what I want to do in it. Like, I think I'm going to be an EMS. So
I got to find what I'm going to do. Be a motherfucking football player, God damn it.
They don't got
Be
that
Cam
type of
Newton.
fucking, like, they ain't got those roles, dude.
All right.
Dude.
Codizzle _ Allen.
Yeah.
My name's Tony Dunn. It's the C3 Panthers podcast, longest running Panthers podcast. Every Tuesday night, we chopping it up from the fan perspective, ride in the car to the game or training camp in this moment. And then we'll catch up next week, 252-228-5098 at cat_Chronicles. I'm ready to go to bed, homie.
All right.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Pounding
Good night. Keep
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.